don't you love that? What that was, see, that is supposed to indicate splashing into water, keeping fit and ahead of everything, because this is the Swimming Upstream Radio Show. And in the old days, I used to start it by jumping in the water and pretending to swim, but I don't do that anymore. It's just too much. Instead, I bring you interesting and fascinating people who are doing wonderful things that you will never meet on the 6 o'clock news. And that's going to have to be good enough for you. I can't remember if I mentioned it before, but I'm Dorothy Wilhelm. Now, in fact, there's a lot I can't remember. Well, we'll see. Today's segment is called Lend a Hand. And we are looking at the fact that more seniors are volunteering to help other seniors and to make their community better than has ever been the case in the United States. And I'm going to introduce you to three exciting people who are in the process of making things better for those around them. And let's start with, now you won't believe this, but you see this gentleman over here. This gentleman named Jon Hubble is planning to rappel down the front of a 4-story building tomorrow. He hasn't said why. Jon, why are you doing this thing?
Oh, probably for a couple of reasons. I've tried it before, and I think it's a good time. I really enjoy doing that kind of thing. A little bit of daredevil.
Well, then let me introduce you to this lovely lady next to you, who is not your wife, Diane Malone. Welcome. And why is Jon rappelling down this building? He doesn't seem to know.
Well, I had planned to rappel down the building, and then unfortunately I can't right now. But when I made the announcement to my neighbors, Jon said, "Wow, can I come with you and do that too?" And I said, "Sure, let's go. It's a good cause."
But see, you have not yet mentioned, there's no use keeping the cause secret. It's a good cause. What's the cause? And where is this building?
The building is the Hub building, which is at Hunt Meyer Park, located in Lacey behind the Fred Meyer.
And Lacey is in Washington State. It's a teeny tiny town. Go ahead.
Yep, don't blink, you'll miss it. And the fundraiser is for South Sound Senior Services, which will benefit the 2 senior centers in our area that provide much needed services for our seniors in our community.
Okay, do you know what kind of services they will be?
Yes, meals, transportation, outings, medical help, mental help, family counseling, lunch every day at the senior center. The food bank comes twice a month to deliver food for them. And they have a coffee hour, puzzles, games, movies, those sorts of things.
Great. I'm just really overcome. You do a lot of volunteering, don't you?
I do.
Can you say, and delicately, you are a senior.
Thank you. Yes, I am. I'm proud of that, Dorothy.
Lasted this long.
Okay. What other kinds, just to kind of give us a broad base, what kind of other senior activities volunteer? Supposing somebody says, I never thought I would want to do any volunteer work at this stage of my life, but if that old gentleman or that handsome, mature gentleman can rappel down a building, I can do it too. What other things do you volunteer for?
There's a food bank, which services many seniors in our community. The senior centers themselves have many activities that they could use folks to come and help: games, craft projects, driving, book clubs, that sort of thing. Also, there are organizations that help with clothing, food banks, clothing banks, transportation, and just sometimes a phone call to check in on someone and see how they're doing so they're not lonely.
That's really great. Jon, what kind of exercise or work have you done to get ready for this? He's thinking it over.
I'm thinking it over. As I haven't done anything specifically to allow me to do this, other than make an attempt to keep myself in decent physical condition. I walk when I can. I can't do that as much as I used to, but I do, and I try to eat well and just keep myself fit. This isn't a horribly strenuous activity to slide down a rope. They provide braking. I don't hit the ground too hard.
It can be, though. Well, good for you. I'm glad you're doing this. Do you do other volunteer activities?
Yeah, I work with several clubs on the campus where we live, and I do photography. I take pictures of live performances in the auditorium on campus. There was something else, but I forgot.
Well, you know how it is. We do forget things. Diane, what was he thinking of?
I was reminding Jon that he and his wife are active with their church here in Olympia.
Yeah, we've lived in Olympia for almost 60 years. And we've been active in the church choir and church government occasionally. I am on campus. We have a resident council where we meet with management and coordinate things and kind of a residential government. And I'm a member of that board as well.
Have you tried anything that didn't work out?
Well,
things that don't work out.
I used to roller skate a lot, but I can't do that anymore. My balance doesn't allow that. So that was not exactly a failure, but it's something that I had to terminate.
Oh, it's not a failure. We just get older.
Yes.
So let's twist it the other way. What kinds of things? Pretend somebody is sitting here occasionally, there are people watching and they're saying, well, I'm in at least as good a shape as he is. What kinds of things could you do? What do you do that would be interesting and challenging? Photography, we know, and you could do a lot with that. Television,
Yeah, I watch television most evenings.
I make television, So what other things if you were telling a friend that, it's a good idea because we are all, we are an island.
Yeah.
What might you suggest to them?
I have an electric scooter, a two-wheel scooter, and like I say, it's electric, and I can go pretty fast. I've got it pretty well governed to about 15 miles an hour, but if I believe what it tells me, I could run 55 or 60 miles an hour. I'd be scared to do that. But I travel. We've got some hiking trails here that we can ride on, and I go around about the city streets, and I think that's healthy. You get fresh air and minimal amount of exercise. But
you keep on moving.
Yes.
And I don't think I had the chance to say that you will be 84 soon.
Yes, end of next month, August.
I'm almost 92. Got you covered, kid.
Well, I'm going to see if I can catch up.
You'll never catch up. Anyway, well, okay, it's been wonderful. It's good to kind of peek in on what you're doing. And Jon and Diane, we'd like you to come back next month and tell us how it went.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
And we should have some pictures for you.
And that would be great. And so we will, because I really believe in volunteering. And so, in fact, I was the volunteer coordinator for Fifth Field Hospital in Bangkok for several years. And believe me, if you're ever going to work anywhere as an activities coordinator, you don't so much want to do it in a hospital where all of the patients are GIs who thought they were going to be having a lot more fun in Bangkok than they did. They weren't interested in macrame.
No, probably not.
Or bingo.
Bingo, yeah.
Well, bingo's fun.
Yeah, I think it's good. So anyway, so I think, let's look for some ways we might be able to think of that we can let other people know about volunteering, because I think that really matters. So
I think if I may, Dorothy, one of the things about seniors volunteering is that we have the time and we also have skills. We have skills that we want to use that are needed throughout our community. So you find a niche that works for you, a group that works for you, whether it's stuffing backpacks for kids for weekend food, a food bank, a clothing bank. There's many, many things people can do to help their community and use their skills that they've acquired over the years.
Without thinking so much of what I can't do, let's say what I can do.
What I can do, absolutely.
Well, let us do that and plan to make plans to join us again next week, next month. I'm just thinking of that rappelling down the wall, and we want pictures, and we want to hear about the whole thing. And I challenge you. I'm just going to do this, and I will try too. Let's find each a new volunteer activity that people in our age group can take up.
Oh, okay. Good one.
Because everybody thinks, but it's always the same old thing. And I think there's a lot of things people don't know about, like ushering at the theater. That's so fun. They let you go to the show then too, So
I maintain that there are so many things to do that if you're bored, it's your own fault.
That's true, but it's not friendly. Okay, now for another look at volunteering, we have. We have a special friend of mine for many years in various civic organizations. He often portrays President James Madison, but today you can call him Mr. Toastmaster. Oh, wait, I have his wonderful, Bill, introduce yourself. I'm looking for your... There we go. Never mind. Don't say anything. Bill Lewis. Okay, Bill, stand there and look cute. Bill Lewis, do you know he wrote this? Bill Lewis is a computer scientist and has worked in research and taught most of his life, most recently doing genetics research at MIT. I didn't know that. He has taught at Stanford and Tufts University and worked for MC Sun Microsystems and Nokia Data. Bill is a past district governor for Toastmasters, Eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, an Eagle Scout, a returned Peace Corps volunteer, and a patriotic citizen of the United States. Bill joined Toastmasters when his mother dragged him by the ear to a meeting after he graduated college. Bill discovered that being able to speak well in public was a very useful skill, which he was at the time weakened. He has improved. Using his speaking skills, Bill ran his own company for a decade, teaching consulting in computer science. In 2015, Bill took on the persona of James Madison and began performing for schools, libraries, and conferences. As a district governor, Bill got to practice his leadership skills. I'm holding this with tension. He had 50 direct reports and 3,000 members and a budget of $50,000. He ran 2 major conferences and organized 100 contests and trainings. He learned a lot, and all because of Toastmasters. What's the main thing you've learned? Bill Lewis, my dear friend, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. I am so happy to be here. How do I sound? Is my voice good?
Yeah, I'd say your voice is pretty good. It sounds very enthusiastic and not overly mature. So thank you I know you're really busy. I understand, though, that you're a Northwest resident now. Is that correct? Or have you gone back to the real place?
So yes, I live in northern Idaho, and I am right now sitting in Sandpoint waiting for them to finish my automobile.
Finish. Oh, is that why it's out there behind you, or is that someone else's automobile?
It's in the shop. Anyway, here I am.
All right, this is a big deal. Well, you know what? So this is a mobile society. We end up, even no matter how old you are, you move around. A lot of people have recreational vehicles, or a lot of people have just gone to, as I have, to live in a senior community. And yet you've managed to keep, I think we could say, pretty active with Toastmasters. Now, I got to tell you, when I was young one time. When I was young, Toastmasters was kind of the ugly stepsister of the National Speaking Association. Really and truly. Now listen, we were, yeah, I know, but we were thought to be, the ones on the ball and making the big bucks and all that. And my own impression is that now, 50 years later, it's completely different. Toastmasters is the organization with the sought-after credentials and the classes, the teaching. Indeed, everything we once had, you guys have got. How do you explain that?
Well, we start off by explaining that NSA, of course, was started by Toastmasters, so it's not so surprising that Toastmasters who were becoming professionals would want to get together and form this association. In any case, the whole point, as you said, Toastmasters is a forum, an opportunity for you to get up there and practice speaking. You practice and you make a mess of it and you don't get fired. And you try it again, and surprisingly enough, you practice something over and over again and you get better at it.
You have hit upon something very important. That is to say, I think you're exactly right, because we never, in fact, it used to be that, we never got to practice giving a speech. Always an excellent speaker would come in and give a speech, and you learn from that, of course. But believe me, it's nothing like making a speech yourself. And as you get older, I don't know if you're having this problem, but no, I can't remember very much. And it's extremely hard. You have to really work at what you're doing. And so I talk to a lot of people and say, well, what's your trick? What do you do? And I think you would not believe how many people I run into who work with Toastmasters. We had a person on, in Robbie Samuel's television program who has 3 Toastmasters credential or designations, I'm not sure, but she's so proud of them. She worked so hard and she's so proud of them. Now, what's your thought? Tell me what you think about it and how it might be helpful to people our age. I know I am.
Well, certainly if you want to present in public, practicing is a very good thing. If you want to lead people, going into Toastmasters, you get to practice leadership. You can become president of your club with 20 people. You can become an area governor for 5 clubs, a division governor for 20 clubs, or like me, a district governor for 150, 200 clubs. And as you are thrown into these situations, you learn to do things. You have all the past history of the people who came before you, who want to help you, of course, but it's still your learning experience. So I am so much more capable of organizing things than I ever was before. And indeed, not merely speaking, but organization. And I spend a lot of my time cold calling, as James Madison will be doing that in a little bit later.
Huh. Well, I'm just thinking, now what about older people? It's hard. It's too late for us, isn't it, to learn to make speeches, to learn to talk to audiences. What do you think, kid?
Oh, by the time you're 110, 115, no, you just forget it. Don't bother, But us youngsters who are in our 70s and 80s and 90s, yeah, there is plenty there for us.
Yeah. Okay. Give us an average day that you're going to be speaking somewhere. Tell us what you do. Tell us, can you take us to the most rewarding, oh, you want to tell a client that the most exciting speech you ever did?
Say again, I didn't quite hear.
I didn't either. Tell us something. Here, I think what I'm asking for is, can you tell about a speech that you felt like you made a difference or you hit that home run we all try for?
Sure, I can think of several instances. I suppose a couple of years ago, during COVID, Toastmasters went online. So all of the meetings were online, and we got really good at being online. What a surprise. And our mutual friend, Robbie Samuels, was leading some stuff. And I took a lot of his ideas and his experiences and incorporated them into the speeches that I was giving. So I visited 200 Toastmasters clubs around the world online, and I spent my time showing them what they could do online to make money, to be creative, to bring people together. As a computer scientist, I'm this big, but I ran an online conference. I simply contacted all the people who referenced my papers. I have some papers, and brought them together online to build a conference. And of course, Toastmasters gave me both the abilities and the courage to go out and do this.
Are you still very active with Toastmasters? I mean, are you doing things like that still?
Yes, I am.
Well, I know. Well, we can't go anywhere with that. I know that you taught at MIT recently, and they liked you.
Among other things, MIT does what they call the Splash Weekend, where the undergraduates arrange for high schoolers to come on campus for a weekend, and largely the undergraduates run the thing. They do most of the teaching, but as faculty, I was invited to come and teach also. So I've taught, I don't know, several dozen courses for high schoolers at MIT, and just a wonderful experience to be able to go out there and show kids like, this is what life was like, and these are the real issues we're looking at, and have them, I want them to leave and ask questions that most kids won't ask.
What kind of questions do they ask?
What is money? Why does it work?
Wow. And how do you explain that, doctor?
Oh, I go back and I talk about Alexander Hamilton, and I talk about the founding of the bank, and I talk about Sir Walpole, who was responsible for the Bank of England, who gave us the modern system of credit and money that we have today, which allowed this incredible expansion of productivity and trade across the nation. So it was wonderful, and it's all because you can pay your taxes and you can pay your loans with US dollars. Therefore, you want US dollars.
So, what is the most important thing you have learned? And I've got one too. I just want you to know that. What is the most important thing that you've learned in your years with Toastmasters?
The most important thing, I don't know. It's really just lots of the little things and the practice of doing it. You don't even realize you're doing it a lot of the time. You just keep trying and you get better. What a surprise. And so that's what I would say. I have the courage, as having been in a serious leadership position, that I have the courage to go out and do things, bring people together, which I would not have had otherwise.
And that's a wonderful thing, and to share it then with other people. And what I've learned that I in fact, we were able to carry on today is that no matter if you're speaking or you're doing the radio or television, whatever you're doing, things will go wrong. They will not work. It doesn't really matter. You're going to right in there and take care of it, and just, don't let go. So, my dear friend, I would like to give you a virtual hug, because that's all right. We've been friends a long time, and we will, look forward to let us know from time to time how you're doing. But if pretend there are people watching who'd like to get involved with Toastmaster, what must they do?
So, Toastmasters.org online, or just Google Toastmasters, and you will find that there are 15,000 clubs around the world. You can find a club anywhere. As a matter of fact, you can just join a club online if you want to.
Oh,
all of
can
these
you?
things are possible.
Oh,
You will learn, and at the end of this, you will be a better person for having done something hard and sharing it with other people.
that is absolutely true. Well, again, thank you so much for being with us. And as I said, in the introduction I wrote, I said, you can call him Bill Lewis, or you can call him Mr. Toastmaster. So, so anyway, we'll come back and see us soon. And so today we have been swimming upstream again on the Swimming Upstream Radio Show. It is a production of it's a production of my friend Jason Falls out here. Now, see, we're at the end of the show and I can't remember anything, but it is part of the SOB production network, and SOB stands for Spunky Old Broads. And you know what? I need lunch and a nap. So I hope you will. I'm Dorothy Wilhelm. I'm virtually sure of that. So I hope you will join us again next time, and we'll have some fun. Thank you. Bye now.